All right, guys, we're going to go over how I was able to run I think it was like 23-minute run here. Now, I always start with killing off this bear. He's going to chase right at you. It's a lot of fun. Now, I'm going to utilize these objects in the game, and I'm going to interact with them differently than you probably have interacted with in the past. Now, these guys you can stand on and jump on this roof. Now, this is the roof that gives you the purple key, so I just skipped the lift that takes the red key, and I grab this purple key and I hop right off the map. Now we're gonna need to collect all the keys here to make this speed run as efficient as it's going to be. And as you can see here, I'm just running around. Now you can see with all this green and yellow grass, that green key is very hard to see, even when you're right up on it. So there it is. There, so it's shiny, and so level 1 and 2, in my opinion, are fairly streamlined maps. They're not hard to get the hang of. Level 3, because of all the hills and a lot of the green, you got green gas, you got the green and yellow grass, you got buildings, you got hills, you have different elevations. Maybe it'll be a little difficult at times to see. But because of this speed run, we're going to approach the game a little bit differently than you guys probably have played. My goal is to get under 20 minutes. I got under 20 minutes with the old exploits before the new build came out. So this is from the build that came out June 14th, 2022. Now, I'm doing this because I want to show the community that it can be run fast, but also show the developers that there's room to improve. If the intention is for that the community interacts with these objects in a different way. So if I'm not supposed to be jumping on these spikes, then maybe we figure out a way where they're just maybe a little bit bigger. I can't get on top of them, or somehow make the objects where you can't stand on top of. And I'm not sure what the answer is, but this is how I'm interacting with these objects in this game to get this kind of run. So I'm also going to go ahead and skip that lift altogether to get this purple key here on the right. Now, see this railing? We're going to stand on this railing, and there's a gap in between these two buildings. We're going to go ahead and walk forward. Now, you're going to seem like you're not standing on anything, but there's kind of like an invisible ledge for some of these objects that goes out, just half of an inch further than it looks like it will. Now, if you're just interacting with the wall as if it's a wall, you may say, hey, I can't do anything to that wall because that wall is a wall. Well, when it comes to in-game objects, there are a lot of times where we can interact with a wall and it does not act as a wall. And in fact, there may be a way for us to find a crack that is big enough for our character to fit through. Now, I'm just looking for these keys. I'm going to collect all of the keys because it's going to be very important for us skipping the next level. Now, I was able to get such an epic shot there with bouncing off all of those hits, which I really thought was really cool. I like that slow motion when the fireball's being thrown by the big bears, and you hit Q and that shield just goes ahead and saves your life and blocks it. Now, one thing to note, the developers have done a really good job of fixing the past rock asset exploit that was found, and there's a couple other exploits that they fixed also, and so here is one that I don't think people really realize. This little pole here you can stand on, and from this pole I'm going to stand on this pole, and I'm going to skip using any keys to get up on top there. So as I jumped, I held shift, and you fall forward faster than if you weren't doing that. So I'm going to collect the keys in this area, and then we're going to make our way towards the next purple key. And as you can see, I'm just going to run past bears and go as fast as I possibly can, because at the end of the day, when you're speedrunning, the faster you go, the better time you will have. Go ahead and just snag that ETH crystal. Didn't need it. And the ETH does come in pretty handy if you don't have the flamethrower for some of these tight areas when you have 10 bulls chasing you or 10 bears chasing you. Instead, if you've got the normal gun, you've got to create space. And as you can see there, I just run backwards and they run towards me. I shoot them, aiming for their head. They have like new sound for headshots, which is pretty cool. They've been able to add a lot of cool features with this latest build. They've increased the size of the bull's calves, so they're not these like scrawny twigs. The bulls actually don't skip leg day now, and maybe that's because they've been running and killing bears for hundreds of runs. We're going to go ahead. We had to use our keys to get on top of this. I did about everything I could think of trying to get up on top of this roof, but the different ledges of the roof, using the tree there, it did not create a stable platform for me to stand on. So thus I did not get that purple key for free without using any keys other than like I got the other keys here. So now we're going to go ahead and turn these purple keys in. We're going to open this door, and we'll move on to level 3. Now you notice I start level 3 off, 2 red keys, 2 green keys, 1 gold key. In order to get all the keys, you're going to need 3 of each. Now there were ways to skip just straight to level 4. Those ways have now been kind of taken. I've done a fair share of jumping off of rocks, getting stuck in places, and I have successfully fell to the sea floor, but the drop is so extreme that you don't have any life. You die right away. I'm not saying that there's not a potential for something like that out there still. I've yet to find one. And if you've got 30 bulls to run, you're probably not jumping off of rocks trying to find ways to get underneath the map. I'm going to go ahead and grab this first purple key. And it's pretty straightforward. Now I need 1 red, 1 gold to have 2 of each. I have 2 more keys to collect before I can get to level 4. I'm at 6 minutes and 50 seconds, which is pretty decent time, which is only going to be expedited because I already have these keys. So I'm going to try to target keys that are near the next purple key. So I'm going to go ahead and snag this yellow key, and we're off to the races. I'm going to run to the next purple key location here on the left side of the map, and grab this red key, and that's it. I don't need any more keys for this speed run. I just now need to get the last 2 purple keys, and then we're moving on to level 4. Go ahead and turn that console on, pull that lever. This drop bridge will come down. Keeping an eye out, trying to plan my next move, how I'm going to navigate to the 3rd purple key before I make my way to the 4th level. And the reason why I don't get any more keys is once you go into level 4, you start off fresh. So nothing you do from level 3 will carry over to level 4. You go into the portal from level 3 to level 4, you start off fresh. So if you spend time and you go collect the extra keys, it is not doing you any favors. It will not help you save or shave any time off of your run. So we're at 8 minutes now, about 8.5 minutes coming up, and the timer is really cool as like a indicator of how fast you're going. So I do like that as an addition. And like I said, I'm making this video so that the community can, 1, use it, and 2, the developers can see how I'm interacting with some of these objects, and then they can evaluate if they want us, the community, us the players, to interact with these objects in that certain way. Now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to sprint past these bears. I'm going to pull that purple lever. I do think it's cool that now when you're pulling the lever, you're collecting keys. There's an indication, indicator that says push E to interact, and from there pretty much takes the guesswork out of what you need to do. And since it pops up, it gives you an indication that you can actually interact with that item, where before it was just a floating key. So I do think that new players that have not played this or watched any streams, watch my videos, can get a pretty good start on what they need to do to accomplish finishing the game. Now I'm gonna go ahead and collect all the keys on this map, but I'm gonna show you guys a skip. So they essentially walled off an area that was used prior to this build to collect the 2 purple keys here, which would be behind the wall on the right. And there's an area that you have to go through. You go to that console, you pull that lever, and you have to go through that doorway, and then there's like a spinning spike log that you have to jump over, and then cannons shoot at you, and so on and so forth. So the exploit for this is we're going to go ahead and run up. We'll grab these keys, but we're going to be able to save a set of keys going into the next level, which is going to help us skip the floor puzzle level altogether. So I need to go up this ramp here, because when you finish this 2-key level, there's a lever you pull, a gate opens. Prior to that, you're able to kind of jump over to where these rocks were, and then jump over, skipping having to use any keys. Now I want to get on top of this wooden piece here, because that is going to let me get enough height to jump up on top of this wood that happens to be sticking out of this building, right? It's like I'm going to jump onto that. So there we go. I had that little protuberance of the ladder there. The ladder was protruding. And now I'm going to just hug the wall and walk forward. Now, there is this invisible ledge that happens because of that object. And from here, I can jump right over there. Now, it's essentially the same thing that I was doing in these 18-minute runs. I'm just getting to it a different way. And so as these changes and fixes happen, I just see, okay, how can I interact with this object? I know it's a wall, but why is this wood platform up here? You know, was the intention to see if people would figure it out, or was it here as a style, like a stylistic choice? And so from there, I'm able to go ahead and quote unquote skip using the 3 purple keys. I'm sorry, a red key, a green key, and a yellow key to get these 2 purple keys. So I'm going to end this map with an extra set of keys, which we're going to need to skip the floor puzzle level. Now, in my opinion, the floor puzzle is not hard, but it can take time. So if you get a pretty difficult setup, sometimes you get these numbers in succession of each other. Most of the time, what I've noticed is you're on 1, and then it's 9, and then it's 7, and then it's 5, and so really there's no rhyme or reason with any of these puzzles. There is a way to get into the last purple key here. I don't do it in this map because I don't need to. I don't need to go into the next map with 2 sets of keys, and it would start me, in order to get out of that area, I would have to get killed, and so it puts me a little bit further apart, or maybe the same. So the running distance is about the same, and I didn't want to waste any time dying and then having to run all the way back up to the gate. So that is what why I didn't end this map. I could get up into it, no problem. I figured out a way to do it, but like I said, in order to get out, you have to die because you didn't open the gate. So there's no way to jump out. There is a way to jump in, but it's not really valid as far as the speed run goes. So here I'm going to run through. I'm going to grab that purple key and grab it and go. We're on the run. We're on the move. And I usually hit that right there, that lever, to close that gate off in case there's any bears chasing me. It generally will cut them off. So there you go. I didn't have any bears chasing me. The next level here, we have the level with the 3 levers. And the 3 levers is going to be just simple approach, but like I said, we do need to collect all the keys in this map to make skipping the next level, which in my opinion takes the most, can take the most time. One, if you're not good at the floor puzzle, you don't have a really good grasp on it yet, and it takes you 2 or 3 times. For me, I generally finish it every time now before the ceiling comes down and spikes me to death. But my friend tried the game, took him 2 or 3 times to get through the puzzle. But I think I have a pretty good tutorial on how I approach it, and you can check that video out in my videos in the BearHUNT playlist. But I'm not gonna demonstrate that in this video because I'm skipping that altogether. Go ahead and jump on that water wheel, jump on that ledge. Now, because I interacted with that wall that way, is how I had the idea to interact with every wall in the game. So I'm like, okay, this sticks out. Can you get up to the wooden ledge? And if you can, where can you go with it? We're going to grab these keys. We'll go ahead and grab the purple key. We do need to spend, like I said, a red, yellow, and green key. Got these bears. Let's kill these guys real quick. Pick up this yellow key. And those cannons are still firing off. And we're just going to run up here. I always do this. I never change my approach with these levers. Now there's 9 potential combinations. You have 3 levers. If you don't know, you can go up to this picket fence. They just added it with the question mark. You can interact with it. But there I go. I go 3, 2, and 1. And that one did not take. Now, if you had the Inferno gun, you don't have to do all this running around finessing of the bears. You literally just light them up. They run into you, and you can go ahead and input. Now I'm going to go 1, 2, and 3. I get it that time. I never change the way I do it. I always do 3, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3, 3, 1, 2, 1, 3, 2, 2, 1, 3, 2, 3, 1. And I know that's a lot of numbers, but I've played this a lot. I ran over probably at this point 90 bulls. And so for me, I stick with that pattern. That way I'm not second guessing. Did I do it? Did I not do it? I always run it the same way. And sometimes I get on the first try. Sometimes I get on the 9th try. But that's just the way it goes when the combination is randomized. Now, they did add a pack of bears inside of this room, protecting the key. But as you see here, I'm in. I'm out before they even have a chance to think. I've got this little bear. I'm going to go ahead and kill him because he'll chase me down. And then from here, I'm hopping over these, dodging the cannons, walking behind the cannons. And this is a speed run. Now, if you're doing it for the first time, you might want to kill those cannons because they will fire at you. And if you're not quick enough, those cannons the cannonballs do a lot of damage. So now the floor puzzle in the left of us, but I'm going to run right through because I have that extra set of keys. I'll turn around and kill these bears behind me so I don't have them chasing me into this like cave. And there we go. Go ahead and activate that. Pull the lever, and we are moving on to get 3 purple keys, and then we'll be at the boss fight. There's not really, honestly, I feel like this upcoming level is, I haven't figured out a way to make it any faster than honestly just collecting the purple keys. I've jumped off of things, I've died into the lava multiple times. There are ways to get underneath the lava, but it doesn't increase the time of you beating it, or I guess decrease the time it takes to beat the game. So it's really not worth it unless you're trying to explore. But in this video, I like to just run backwards and hop as the bears chase me. I like to watch the cannonballs hit them because it does damage to them also. And you'll see them go flying, and then they just ragdoll away. Now, a cool addition to this build is that they've added a health pack and a ETH crystal right at the start, making utilizing your ETH power a little bit better here for gameplay. Whereas before, I personally would not use my ETH to shoot anything. I would just spend a couple extra seconds running backwards, chasing the bears, having them chase me down. And the cool thing here with the stamina bar that they've added, they've changed the look of it a little bit, but if you get all the way down to no stamina, there's like this heavy breathing as a indicator that your stamina is down. You have exhausted your bull, and it's going to take a second to get that stamina back up. Now I'm going to grab, if I was out of ETH, I would grab that ETH crystal, but I'm going to just drop down from this floor to the next, take very little damage, and I'm going to jump, and I aim at that like kind of torch pillar there. I'm going to hop off, and I'm on my way to the next lift. I'm going to kill this bear. I'm going to kill this bear. And as you can see there, he's shooting at me. I'm just going to go ahead and shoot him down so I don't have to deal with him as I'm on this little tiny ledge. So now it's coming down. If you stand on this ledge, high probability you'll fall in the lava a couple times until you get used to it. But you won't spawn the bears there guarding that area. So I jump. I'm a sprint and jump, and kind of dodge, wait for it to lift up, and then I'm going to sprint past these melee bears, jump, grab that second purple key. And so if someone has a faster way of getting through this level, please let me know. I'd love to hear it. I've touched probably about every inch of wall that you can get to on every map, and seeing what is possible with these different builds. Like I said, there are things I figured out, but does it give people an advantage? Not really. I'm not sure what the death penalty will be in the competitions, so some of the things may not even be like a viable strategy if you have to die to be able to get certain purple keys. But I'm gonna go ahead and grab this third purple key, get on this lift, kill this bear, and then we'll make our descent. I'll hop off. That, in my opinion, took way more damage than I thought it was going to. Generally, if you land on the stairs, you don't take that much damage. Now, I don't have a full health bar. You honestly probably, I don't know how much. Say that red bar is 100. I'll probably take 10 damage during the boss fight from the little bears chasing me around. We're at 11 minutes and 58 seconds. And as you can see, I lost even more health because I got hit by one of those fireballs, which happens like 1 out of every 10 times I run through there. Go ahead and kill these little bears off since I spawned. They have done a good job of kind of spreading them out. I'll grab that health pack. I didn't need it to kill the boss, but I grabbed it because I had the choice. I didn't have to run too far back for it. Go ahead and kill this guy. If he drops anything, I'm not running back for it. So I'm just running backwards, trying to get to the boss as fast as I can. And my strategy with this, I'm going to go right up underneath the boss. And I know there's been some people struggling with killing the boss, but this is how I do it. It works every time. The old build, this build, and unless they change something with mechanics, I think it will work every time. So go ahead and just shoot the bear in the head. As soon as it lifts its arms, you need to run to the left. Now you have to run to the right. And immediately start firing at the shield. So I'm not using any ETH to shoot that. The ETH is going to kill those crystals so much faster. So I switch over to ETH, kill that crystal, or pylon, or whatever it's called. Kill this next pylon. And then once this drops, I'm back on the boss. Now don't stand in the center because the boss will fire, light the ground on fire. And now I'm going to kill these two, ignoring the little bears. The goal is to kill the mama bear. That's the end goal. You can spend all day killing the little bears and big bears, but it's not really going to help you. Here I get a little too close, the fire comes up to me. But if you notice my health bar, I don't drop too much. That fire does bake you though, so kill that. And now I'm going to get underneath the bear, and I'm just kind of moving right and then left and back, avoiding taking hits from them. And as easy as that, the boss drops. We're at 13 minutes, 14 minutes right now. So 14 plus 10 is 24-minute run. I'm going to run up to this chest, and then I think the time officially stops. So altogether, you've got about 25-minute runs. Now, if you're running bulls consistently, that 5 minutes every hour will help you. So every 5 hours, you get an additional bull ran. All right, guys, so that's going to be how I did my speed run, how I utilize the in-game assets to skip certain areas, how I preserve my keys, and how I killed the boss. If you guys like this content, let me know. If you have any questions, I'll make another video to kind of answer whatever that is. And if you guys don't know me, I'm Matt Force, also known as the Fat Purple Elephant. Pretty hot and tempting, I know. Pick up the bulls on OpenSea, and if you have questions to whether the bulls have already been ran and collected a bear and hunted, I have videos on that. If you have playing the game without skipping the floor level and you have a hard time with the floor level, I have a pretty good video kind of create an understanding of how I approach it, how I remember the pattern, and like I said, I get it. There hasn't been a time kind of since I've maybe passed my 5th run where I don't get it before the ceiling comes in. All right, guys, talk to you guys soon. Thank you so much for the support. Like, comment, and subscribe if you can, And let's grow the Bullieverse to something bigger than any of us could ever believe. I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.